You was strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to take it, and our running back coach didn't take it. Biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on this terrific Tuesday. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling. It's the Sound of Bama Sports, your show, your team. That's right. You can let us know what's on your mind by jumping in on the live stream at the Martin Houston Show on Facebook. That's facebook.com/the Martin Houston Show. Or you can jump in on Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions hotline at 205-342-9904. That's how you can interact with us. We're powered by Box Eye Care, boxeyecare.com. Visit them. They can take care of all your visual needs as well as several other ancillary services, including laser skin care. So nobody does it any better than Box Eye Care at their new location, better equipped to serve you. Right there on Oscar Baxter Drive. Go check them out. This is a day, remember that this is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice, be glad in it, take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Good morning, DC. How you doing, sir?
Doing great this morning, Martin. How are you doing?
Doing well. Well, hey, it's SEC Media Days. The official kickoff to the new football season down here in the South. Several, I guess, key takeaways. Alabama, the talk of SEC Media Days, even though they're not scheduled to be on the clock till Wednesday. I think every player and or coach had something to say about Alabama football. And not just Alabama football, but Nick Saban still the talk of the town. Was that Greg McElroy trying to get, attention grabbing, or is Saban just a man if you want to sell tickets? You mentioned Saban and then go from there. So we have those conversations, and we have several other hot seat questions and where will Bama finish, and we'll break down some of the different comments and what people had to say, including Diego Pavia commenting on killing Ant with the sledgehammer comment, that and a lot more. DC, did anything specifically jump out at you from yesterday?
Well, I think the fact that, as you said, that Alabama wasn't the topic, but everybody wanted to talk about Alabama, just lets you know that Alabama is still the lead dog in the pack, and that the fact that, I guess what jumped out at me was, I guess I should have expected it, but Greg McElroy going out and making that statement about Coach Saban just shows me that Coach Saban's name is still one you can throw around and get a lot of attention from. He got a lot of attention not only in Alabama circles but all over the nation. Everybody picked that up, of course, that soundbite, and wanted to run with it. And I'm not sure that Greg knows any more than you and I know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, true that. I mean, he has a source. I do too. Yeah. Oh, the Holy Spirit. No, just kidding. But
yeah, anyway. Our source is more connected than his source, I think.
but seriously, Ryan asked me. I had not heard it, so Ryan asked me, "Did I see it happening?" And my initial response was no, DC, unless it's something like I've said this, that what made Nick Saban special was he was just his dad on steroids. In other words, what made him such a good coach was he took the same approach his dad had taken all those years as a little league coach, who saw himself as more than just a coach. He saw himself as a mentor, a dad, a father figure, a guide for these young men. And he misses that. But I've thought a little bit more, so I may have a little different opinion this morning than what I had yesterday. But what's your thoughts? Will we see Nick on the sideline again?
My thought is my initial answer, and my answer still this morning is no. And I don't know the reason why he would want to come back. And I know what you're saying is to influence young men and help young men. The only way I would ever see him back on the sideline would be, and I don't know how he does this, but would be in that sideline of finishing his career out the way his dad started as a young team coach of his grandson. I guess I see him might return it, but I don't see him returning to the college team sideline. I don't see him going to the pros. I think he got his feel of that when he was in Miami. And he's always told us. I mean, I really listen to people when they talk. And if you listen to Coach Saban when he talks, he usually tells you everything you need to know. If you go back and look at any of his interviews, he told us what he would miss about a football team. The number one thing he missed about the football team was the camaraderie and being on the team. And I think he's feeling that with his ESPN Gameday team that he's getting to work with. So I think he's getting that feel. So I think that the next time you see him on the sideline, he'll be coaching his grandson in Pee Wee football.
Well, I feel sorry for all the other teams if he decides to coach Little League football as well as his kids. I think that probably slightly intense, but I could see that. What about you, Chase? You got any thoughts on it?
I agree with DC. I don't really see it any differently.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I mean, could you see their names would be the Killers?
reason I say that, Martin, one of the best things I ever did was as a young father was coach my son in Pee Wee football. I know you've coached your sons in football throughout, and I felt like I gained more. I gave a lot to the kids, but I gained more to the kids than anything else. And I think that I could see him doing that. I could see him making that commitment to do that for his grandkids. You do a lot of things for your kids and your grandkids that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, devil's advocate here. Did he fully scratch his NFL itch?
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but I think he did. But yeah, go ahead and play the devil's advocate and tell us why he didn't.
I don't think he did, because I don't think he feel like if he were to look back at his life, I think he would consider that compared to his considering his statistics, DC, his level, his bar. I don't think he would look at his NFL time as a failure. So that's why the NFL could be a possibility. The reason I say that it probably wouldn't be is because he loves the mentoring side of it. He loves the development of young men side of it. So with that said, why would he consider coming back to the NFL? Why do you think Nick Saban left the game, DC, on top of the world just about? I mean, literally 1 or 2 plays, and he was playing for another national title. And then a sudden, for Nick Saban, even though I think it was talked about all season long, DC, I still think it was a sudden, rash decision. For once again, by his standards, not the typical person. I think he talked about it during the season. I think that Kalen DeBoer was on his list. Like I said, I don't know whether Kalen DeBoer was talked to or not, but I think Alabama and Saban and Greg were not Greg. Greg. Yeah, I got McElroy messed up, but Greg Byrne. We're talking about it. With that said, Did he jump too soon? Is that in the back of his head? So kind of rash decision. Why did he stop coaching, DC? Why do you think he walked away? Because he said that he would walk away when he could no longer do it at the level he was doing it. Well, he was still 1-2 plays from national title.
Yeah, I think he walked away because, to be honest, I think he saw college football going in a direction he didn't want to go in and could no longer do it the way he wanted to do it, and it was getting more like professional football than college football. And I think he saw the future of where we are today, and didn't want to be part of that.
And I agree. That's why I think he walked away. But did the House settlement, in his opinion, has he looked at this House settlement potentially and said, this will slow down the transfer portal. It will put everybody on the same kind of playing field recruiting wise? Did the House settlement, has there been enough change potentially with the clearinghouse and the House settlement and all of that it slowed down enough for him to at least start considering it?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I understand that that's the devil's advocate position to take out there, and it's a great theory. But I just don't think so. I don't think so in my mind, because I think that well, I'm a little cynical, but anytime you start putting that much emphasis on something that the government's done and expect it to work out like you want it to, it's not really a good thing. Because I don't think the House settlement is the savior of college football.
DC, I've been doing some. I'm preparing for a multi-generational, how to build a team with multi-generational team members. And in your generation, what it said about your generation, our generation, is that we're skeptical of government.
Yeah, well, I would definitely agree with that, especially if you've worked within it for so many years.
Yeah, but last question of this side of the break, DC. Okay, I like I said, I've thought about it a little bit more, and I found reasons why I think he could. I don't think he would, but if he did, where do you think he would go? I think there's only one place he would go.
I have no idea.
I think
I really don't.
I think if Brian Kelly screws this year, I think LSU would do a full court press on Nick Saban, and even if he hasn't said it, maybe they convince him of, because Bam Bam 72 said if Saban were to come back, I think it would have to be to a place he knows he could win right away. I don't see him wanting to come in and rebuild a program. Agree. And then he said it's going to come down to what Miss Terry says. Miss Terry loves Tuscaloosa, and I think Miss Terry and Coach Saban loved Baton Rouge, and they still have connections. And they were doting on him when he got put in that Hall of Fame. So Brian Kelly has a little pressure on him just because that rumor's out there, DC.
Now, I would definitely say the pressure is on Brian Kelly because of that rumor is out there. Because if that rumor is out there, every LSU fan is saying, so you say there's a chance. So you say we got a chance to get Nick Saban. That's all they'll talk about all year.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree. It's not good for Brian Kelly.
You can't help but feel for him, but hey, could that for a better guy? But no, exactly. And then I said that was the last thing. What do you take? How much credence do you put into Lane Kiffin? Was Lane Kiffin the source? Did you hear what he said?
I did. Everything that Lane Kiffin says, I take with a grain of salt because I think sometimes he's just stirring the pot. And jumping on the latest, he has a great way of jumping on the latest viral sensation and getting publicity from it. And so I'm not sure he was a source, but I wouldn't put it past him about that.
Yeah, because he did say that in his conversation and talking to him, he didn't say someone told him. He said from his phone call. So either he flat out lied, which I'm not gonna put that past him, but he tends to tell more than he's supposed to. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
He also tends to embellish and say things that make you think he knows more than he knows.
Oh, you would not say he's not a marketer and an exaggerator, is he?
Oh yes, he is. He is definitely.
Oh man,
he does a good job of it too. I'm not knocking him. He does a good job with it.
That's right. That's why Ole Miss is in the conversation
every year right now.
A team that hasn't won a championship in my lifetime, somehow since Kiffin has been there, has managed to be relevant and in the conversation. So that tells y'all
somehow he has a knack for getting to rile up people by saying things that other people could say and it really not matter. But for instance, he can say something about Auburn and Auburn would just like to burn their face down.
Yeah,
he knows how to say it and say it in a way that gets a response, and that's what a good marketer does.
That's right. Well, hey, if Coach Saban decides to get on it, would it tarnish his legacy at Alabama? How would Alabama fans feel? I'll let DC respond to that question on the other side coming out the break. We're going to change the conversation, however, and we open up the phone lines to you. That's the Empowerment, Leadership, and People Solutions hotline. Empowerment, Leadership, and People Solutions, empowering better people, stronger teams, and championship cultures. The Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. Will be back on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you as we get off to a pretty easy start right now. We're looking at 2059 moving smooth between 359 and Joe Malisham. You do have a road closure on University Boulevard. It looks like they're doing some road improvements here. And that is in both directions between 6th Avenue and Red Drew Avenue. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Aleve.
Shop Townsend Nissan today. Fair, fun, and fast. The right product at the right place. That's why people shop Townsend Nissan. Scotland Boulevard, Tuscaloosa.
The Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 Sports Radio studio is presented by B-Dry Alabama. B-Dry Waterproofing. Online at bdryalabama.com.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Hey, it's Wyatt Fulton with Tide 100.9. Join myself and Ryan Fowler for live coverage on air and online at SEC Media Days in Atlanta, Georgia from July 14th through the 17th, powered by Pearl River Resort. We'll bring you the latest from all 16 SEC head coaches and the players that they bring with them to Atlanta for the upcoming football season. We'll also give you our breakdown of each team in the SEC for the 2025 season live at SEC Media Days in Atlanta from July 14th through the 17th, powered by Pearl River Resort.
When it comes to foundation repair, trust the experts at B-Dry, proudly serving Alabama for over 60 years. Locally owned and operated, they offer customized solutions, flexible financing options, and experienced consultants who truly listen. At B-Dry, their goal is simple. Fix the problem today so it doesn't come back tomorrow. Call them at 205-942-1976 or visit bdryalabama.com and let them help give you lasting peace of mind.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
It's Alabama Campers' grand opening event in Tuscaloosa. Find New Forest River, Keystone, Salem, RVs, and spring Sprinter fifth wheels. You'll find a great selection of new and pre-owned RVs, front living, rear living, 2 entry options, and more. Many with low or no down payments. Experience the great outdoors. Alabama Campers. Grand opening, 5126 McFarland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa. Easy financing and top-tier service at Alabama Campers and online at alabamacampers.com.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Hot, humid weather continues. The sky partly to mostly sunny today. A few isolated storms this afternoon or this evening. The high today 95, the low tonight 75. Tomorrow morning sunshine. A few spots could see an afternoon storm. The high 95. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 74 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
It's a Tuesday morning, and that means that we have DC Capstone Report on with us. And so we just spent the first quarter talking about Saban, and is it just McElroy bringing up something, or is there some potential truth to the Saban wanting to be on the sideline? Is it coaching? And maybe not. I don't think we'll see Saban as a head coach. If we did, I think it'd be LSU or the NFL if he was looking at doing it to expand his legacy. If it's just because he want to be around kids, don't be surprised to see the Sabanite killer Little League team. They will not have enough uniforms to get the kids in that league, because every coach would want to either play. I mean, every kid and dad would want to be on his team. Or could you see the guy, DC, that's coaching against Coach Saban on the sideline? That'll be his legacy. Man, I beat Coach Saban. So I don't see that. That's a stretch. But Danny Dykes nails it, DC. So I'm going to give you two questions. Would it tank his legacy at Alabama, and how would Alabama fans feel? You speak for the Bama Nation on that question. And Danny Dykes may have figured out how Coach Saban could coach and be on the sideline without being a head coach, and it would still work. And I'll tell you what that is. But answer that first question. Will it tank his legacy if he does anything?
In the grand scheme of things, from a helicopter view, I don't think anything he can do can taint his, short of some kind of craziness. I don't think it could taint his legacy at Alabama. He's developed a huge legacy at Alabama that will follow him forever, and that's one of the reasons I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. But if he does,
would the fans dislike him? Would the fans be hurt?
Oh yeah, I think that being said, there are going to be a section of fans that would be hurt. And you'll hear outcry from fans of why, and there'll be a conspiracy theory of every reason as to who pushed him out and why they don't want him in Alabama and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that would happen. Of course, there'll be a section of fans that are hurt, but DC, I don't think he can hurt his legacy.
Bam Bam 72 said it best. I will be honest. I don't want to see Saban back at LSU. That would be like leaving the current wife for the ex-wife.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There'll be a lot of fans that have that same sentiment, I'm sure.
Yeah. Danny Dykes may have cracked the riddle of how Saban could be coaching, but not as a head coach, but still doing what he loves to do. And that is, Danny Dykes says, I don't think Saban wants to coach, but a GM in the college game or a pro game or a part owner is definitely a possibility.
Now, a part owner in a professional team would definitely be a possibility. I was saying one of the reasons he would not go to the NFL is he couldn't have total control outside the ownership. It's a professional, and you got people. That's what hurt him in Miami. He didn't have total control. He couldn't make the decisions he wanted to make about personnel and other choices. So, but as an owner, I could see him making a difference as an owner, partial owner. And I just think in the college game, since you've risen to the pinnacle of coaching success at Alabama, if you look back on it, he had an opportunity to go to Texas and didn't go in 2013. And one of the things that held him back was he loved Alabama so much, but also the fact that he wouldn't have total control anywhere else. He didn't think anybody else would give him the keys that he gave here, because when he came to Alabama, he was at a point where whatever you want, you can have. And then he got us to top, and I don't think he wants to start over like that. You've already said that before, and I agree with you. He doesn't want to go somewhere and start over and rebuild a program. His age doesn't allow him to do that at the level he wants to.
Yeah, I
could see him.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I could see the GM role potentially somewhere.
Yeah.
And in that role, he might like the thought of rebuilding. But let's say
in that role, but not as a head coach. I think in that role he might like it.
He might like the rebuilding of it. Here's a scenario. Courtney Morgan's going to do an unbelievable job. Saban's going to be our GM next year. He already is, DC, according to all of the media. Isn't he the one doing all this recruiting for Alabama?
Yeah, of course. That's what all the media says. I don't put any stock in that either. But here's my scenario. Where would he go in college football today, Martin, to be a GM? Where would he go? Where could he go to be a GM and it mesh perfectly with the head
coach? Alabama or Kent, where he played college ball?
I was thinking North Carolina.
Oh, well, there you go. That'd be scary.
Back on the sideline together again. Get the band back together again.
Hey, now, okay, DC, if that were to happen.
Me and you might as well say something Greg McElroy didn't say. Hey, he's not going as the head coach. He's going back to North Carolina as a general manager.
DC, where would you immediately put Carolina if those two were to be? Are they too old to do it, or do you think that dynamic duo could make an impact?
I think that them two together, I would not bet against them. How about that?
What about you, Chase? What about that duo?
Oh, that would be a crazy duo. Oh my.
Hey, DC, we're breaking news. The boys are back together again.
I'll tell you what, I will be honest with you. That you heard it first on the Martin Houston show, and that has as much credibility as anything that Greg McElroy said yesterday.
Yes, it does. That's it, DC. We just cracked the code. Nick Saban will be on the sideline again as the general manager at North Carolina. Belichick and Saban back together again, doing things they couldn't do at Cleveland because of the years of growth and maturity. There we go. We're having
boy.
Huh?
Let's see if we can make that clip go viral, Chase.
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out how to get a reel for this off of the show and post that and let that go viral, DC. But I do think that if we see Saban, it would be something like that where he's doing it. Like I said, I mean, I literally think that DeBoer is strong enough that he could have him on his sideline. I don't know if there's another coach in college football that is. But I think that Kent State would be something interesting. We could see it. I could see Saban in an AD role or a general manager role. I wouldn't be surprised with an AD role somewhere.
I agree.
Or a commission role. I don't think that he will end up his career and involvement in football. I would say that I do not think his involvement with football will end with him being on ESPN. So
that's a pretty fair statement. I mean, that could happen. I mean, I think there's more chance he'll be coaching his grandson's Pee Wee team here in the near future than anything else. But that's just my opinion.
Yep, I could see that as well. All right, well, you heard it here, Chase. I'm gonna need you to make it go viral now. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna call Ryan Fowler and get him to say it at 2:00.
Tell him that DC Martin and DC has some breaking news this morning at 6:30 on the Martin Houston show.
That's right. All right, Blind Squirrel Sports said, I just heard that Will Muschamp will not be working with Georgia in any role next season. Last year, he provided some key intel as an analyst at times, so there's room for Saban at UGA if he's interested in a support role. So he said, I always thought Saban and Kirby work better together. Anyway, we'll come back on the other side, DC, and I'll let you bring it out with what's burning on DC's lips when it comes to SEC. We got a couple of thoughts here. We know your thoughts as well. Right here on Martin Houston Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you as we get off to a pretty easy start right now. We're looking at 2059 moving smooth between 359 and Joe Malisham. You do have a road closure on University Boulevard. It looks like they're doing some road improvements here. And that is in both directions between 6th Avenue and Red Drew Avenue. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hey, Bama fans, this is quarterback Jalen Milroe for my friends at Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. Before you shop anywhere else for a Dodge Ram truck, a Jeep, a Dodge Challenger, or a Dodge Charger, shop local. An amazing selection of new and pre-owned vehicles are on the lot now. Go see for yourself at 550 Skyland Boulevard East in Tuscaloosa. Or you can shop online at TuscaloosaCDJR.com. At Tuscaloosa Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, you pick it out and we'll work it out. Roll Tide!
Are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Ready to order? Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef. This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's time for the Martin Houston Show. With the same hard-hitting, no-nonsense approach in which he played the game, Martin will take you inside the locker room, down on the field, and across the goal line with his in-depth analysis.
Are you ready to unleash the power of you? Unleashing the power of you, empowering better people, stronger teams, and championship cultures. I am going to be the keynote speaker for West Alabama Society of Human Resources on August 8th. Registration is now open. If you're in the Tuscaloosa, West Alabama area or driving distance, then you need to register today. Save the date, August 8th, 2025, the West Alabama SHRM Annual Leadership Conference at the Synergic Center in Northport. Unleash the power of you with myself and others. It's going to be a great lineup. You can go to West Alabama SHRM, or that's, I always joke and tell them it's Washroom, WASHRM on LinkedIn, and you can register or you can find that web address. Once again, that's the Annual Leadership Conference where I'm going to be the keynote. Save the day, August 8th, a half day of definitely empowering leadership training. And it's not just for HR professionals. If you're looking to build a team, looking to teach people to lead from within before leading others, shift from reactive or proactive leadership, elevate their mindset from task-driven to people-driven, this is the conference for you. So if you have any questions, want to find out more, you can just email Martin at martinhouston.org. All right, DC, let's get back into this SEC Media Day conversation. Just a couple quick things, DC. What do you think about a couple different guys, Diego Pavia, commenting, kind of keeping it on the quiet tip when it comes to the ant with the sledgehammer comment, Nussmeier praising Simpson, and Alabama, of course, Brian Kelly saying that they have continued that standard. Just react to those three statements before we get into the other.
Well, I think it's just a general statement on all three of those statements. It seems like everybody was wanting to not cause any drama and keep it keep a good, even low profile when it comes to Alabama. I think that Diego Pavia, of course, of all of those three, had he could have made the most statements and could have boasted. But I think he did the right thing in not doing that and bringing so much attention to himself. I think that Nussmeier has created a relationship with Simpson over the years at the Manning camps and different things, and so I think he has a genuine respect for him. And then I don't think Brian Kelly's ever lost respect for the Alabama brand, what it's done to him over the years. And so each one of them spoke out of probably their own way of trying to keep it low profile. You didn't have someone step out there and say something as we did the quarterback from Florida State had done. So I think they learned from that, and they decided to, I guess the marketing and the media guides said, hey, let's don't make any statements. It's going to be coming back to haunt us later on in bulletin board material. And we didn't hear any of that yesterday.
Yeah, and Lenoris Sellers of South Carolina giving the Tide much respect, but also quiet confidence, believing because of their performance last year and the addition of his new coach. Talking about the combination of the quarterbacks and types of quarterbacks that Shula has coached is going to make him a dangerous weapon. So I thought that was interesting, but he gave the Tide much love, which he came out. He actually came out when the kid from Florida State made the statement. Lenore Sellers actually came out and said, Alabama's still Alabama. So he's
and if anybody that has Pavia has a right to talk. Lenore Sellers, one play away maybe from beating Alabama. I mean, he could talk, but he displayed good maturity, and so I think that South Carolina's got a good quarterback with good head on his shoulders and a good coach opportunity.
DC, I think that they think they can get the Tide. Nick, Coach Stallings used to always say, when you start making those types of statements like the kid from quarterback from Florida State, then you're whistling going through the cemetery. I think that these teams really think that they can get the Tide. So they're speaking with confidence versus, cockiness, which is two different things. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I agree. I think that they're thinking, hey, if there's any time we have a chance, we have a chance now.
Yeah.
Because Vanderbilt proved it, Oklahoma proved that they could be beat, and I don't think they want to. They realized that last year's losses woke up Alabama, and they don't want to do anything to wake them up anymore.
That's right.
They want to continue to have those chances. So I think that's good. The guy at Florida State, I agree. Great analogy what Coach Stallings said. They don't have anything else to do. All they can do is talk. Like they can't. Right. They can't back it up with anything on the field from last year. They have to do it this year, and that's going to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, DC, when you look at this, I'm going to do some kind of rapid fires, and we'll get the break. When you look at Alabama, I want to get your thoughts. We'll start with what do you see this Tide doing in 2025 prediction? Where do you see them finishing?
Well, I think based on what I've heard and so far how they're doing and what their plans are and how the team is progressing, I don't expect them any less than competing for the SEC title. So I would say in the top two.
All right,
that's where I think they land.
Who's your top 5 SEC schools?
Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and then you can throw in Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and you can throw in probably Ole Miss, Texas A&M.
Okay, where do you think?
You can probably put 4 other teams in those last 2 slots as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think South Carolina, with the way they ended last year, was that fluke? Was that something they can build on? And if so, if that team gets better, do they crack that top 4?
Yeah, I think South Carolina could do it. I think you could see them in it. I think there's a chance that Oklahoma could do it. You have opportunities for other teams that are usually sitting outside that top 5 to crack it. So I think you got your top 3: Alabama, Texas, and Georgia, and then you could have one of any number of teams crack those other 2. When you talk about LSU and Ole Miss and Oklahoma and South Carolina and Texas A&M, any of those could crack it.
Who you got playing for the championship?
I got Alabama and Texas playing for the championship.
And I'm assuming you're going with the Tide to win.
I am.
Okay.
I think Alabama wins.
What would the college football world do in terms of meltdown if Alabama and Georgia find themselves playing there again and their only loss is either one of them is lost to the other one?
I think that the whole world would melt down if Alabama and Georgia make it to the championship, and their only loss is to one or the other.
Yeah, I can see that, DC. It would be an absolute, because everybody thinks that I'm starting to see stuff where people are starting to say it again. Well, it's interesting that now Alabama and Georgia's come back to the pack because of recruiting. They act like the portal has nothing to do with that. But they're just making it about paying players. So if those two teams were to be the two that's in that top 1, 2, or 3, 4 spot in the college football playoff world, it would be a complete meltdown. Coming back on the other side, we'll get Alabama makes the playoff if, or Alabama won't make the playoffs if. What? We'll talk about that with DC. We'll also get his thoughts on the hot seat SEC coaches and any other thoughts you may have around the the Alabama Crimson Tide and the SEC Media Days.
Go inside the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Gary Harris Show.
Hey, it's Gary Harris. Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., we'll go live to Atlanta for SEC Media Days. The Rocky Man, Rudy Armin, will join us there from the ATL. Plus, we'll have some other guests from Atlanta as well as we talk SEC football and more, and your phone calls. That's Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.
Catch the Gary Harris Show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. on Tide 100.9 and Tide100.9.com.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Very slight delays starting to take formation now on this Tuesday on 43 southbound, moving onto McFarland Boulevard as it typically does. Lurleen Wallace northbound lanes onto McFarland Boulevard. That's just intersection slow goes is all. Once that light turns green, you're good to go. 2059 still wide open in between McFarland and Joe Malisham. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
The Tide 100.9 WTBC 1230 Sports Radio studio is presented by B-Dry Alabama. B-Dry Waterproofing. Online at bdryalabama.com.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. They've been doing it the right way each and every day for 50 years and counting. If you're looking for a great option for lunch and or dinner, then you need to check out Taco Casa. Taco Casa, and while you're there, don't forget to get a big glass of that sweet tea. Visit them online at tacocasa.com. That's tacocasa.com. Quality, taste, and value on the biggest cactus in town. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Stewart, inviting you to celebrate the summer with Townsend Honda. Drive in a new 2025 Honda Accord and get financing as low as 2.99%. Make a splash in a new 2025 Honda HR-V and get financing as low as 2.99%. Find the best selection of Hondas and certified pre-owned vehicles, all backed by the Townsend Certified Warranty. Townsend Honda, Skyland Boulevard in Tuscaloosa. 2.99% for up to 60 months on select new 2025 Honda Accords and HRVs with approved credit through Honda Financial Services. See dealer for details. Offer in 7725.
Houston Hydrosteam. That's Houston Hydrosteam. Quality work you can stand on. Whether you're looking for carpet and upholstery cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, residential or commercial water damage, and a whole lot more, you need to call Houston Hydrosteam at 205-553-9460, 553-9460, or visit them online at houstonhydrosteam.com. And once again, Houston Hydrosteam is quality work you can stand on.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back in. It's now time for the Harvest Church 2-minute warning where we love God, love people. We have DC Capstone Report on with us. DC, tell us what you got, man.
Well, you can find me at DCCapstoneReport.com, DC Capstone Report Facebook page, or you can follow me on Twitter at DavidCott50. Lance and I will be putting up some content as we move into getting this fall practice started and looking forward to the season this year. So you can follow us on all of our outlets and hear our podcasts on Spotify, YouTube, and our Facebook page.
All right. Tim Richardson said, man, I want to win the SEC championship, but, man, hosting a playoff game in December would be epic. That is true. I need to do a poll question. Would you rather Alabama get a bye, or would you rather Alabama host the game here? Last year, that would have been fun. This year, I think we want to go straight to the bye week, right, DC?
Yeah, I think bye week's where we're headed. That's what we need. That's what we want to do.
That's right. Corey Lewis asking an interesting question, DC. We were talking about Alabama winning the SEC. We didn't say what about the national title, but he asked the question, does Alabama have a defensive line and pass rushers to win a national championship?
I think we do. I think we're going to see that's going to be one of the most improved position groups on this team. I think defensive line, offensive line, and pass rush is going to be major improvements this year.
I think we're kind of in the same boat with our offensive and defensive line, DC. I think that they both have great starters. Depth has to be developed. And I think the pass rush, Corey, is LT won't be – he's going to learn to play a little bit better pat level, lower, not miss 8 sacks. I think having Rusal back is going to be Quay back is going to be huge. I think the addition of Latham as a defensive lineman that has now moved to that outside position where you can drop down and have a 4-3 defensive line with a guy that's played the D-line position interior before on the edge. I think Womack and this defense is going to be ready and will be a top 3, maybe number 1 defense in the nation. So I would say yes to that question, Corey Lewis. All right, DC. Alabama wins the championship if what? National championship.
Well, my answer is going to tie on each other. And I think it just comes down to clearly this. Alabama wins the national championship if they stay healthy and don't have any major injuries. I don't think we have the depth to take on major injuries and still compete for national championship. But I think if we stay healthy, no major injuries, there's no reason we can't win the national championship.
All right. Alabama doesn't win the national championship if what?
I think that's just to connect the dots to my first statement. Alabama doesn't win the national championships if we have major injuries.
What if those injuries happen late in the season where you've had a chance to get some of these young guys acclimated?
That's possible. And when I say major injuries, I'm talking about key roles of players on offense and defense that we don't have a replacement for.
Yeah,
pretty in certain areas, and I think that will affect us if we have early in the year injuries. Late year injuries with major injuries in the end of the year, those can hurt you as well. We saw that happen a couple of years ago where when John Mitchie and we went down at the same time on the wide receivers, so we didn't have anybody behind them to be playmakers. That can really make a difference.
And I think that's the difference between this staff and that one. That's why I asked that question, DC. Is I think
I agree.
Does a better job of getting young guys in and getting them playing time than Coach Saban did. That was one of his weaknesses, I think, in getting in-season young guys ready. If they were ready, he played them. But if they weren't, we didn't do a good job of developing that bench strength unless they were already gifted guys.
Yeah, my thought is if the injuries happen early in the season, we may not be in a posture of even get to play for a national championship. So
absolutely, I agree with that. I think it comes down to the O-line, and I think the O-line comes down to Caden Proctor's growth and maturity and Jayden Roberts' intensity and leadership.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, DC, who do you see as the hot seat coaches?
Brian Kelly, I think he's a hot seat coach, and Mark Stoops. I think.
What about Freeze across the state?
Well, I think he's already on a hot seat. I think he's already been whistling walking through the cemetery, if you know what I mean. You've heard him talking about everything, but I think he's already on the hot seat. I think at Auburn, if he loses three or four ball games, they'll be ready to get rid of him.
Will they change in the season if that happens? Wow.
I would not. I don't think it would change in the season. I just don't think Auburn would do that. I could be wrong. They could, but if it goes really south and he craters with they have 3, 4, 5 losses, then I can see that. But I don't think. I think they'll wait. I think if he has those 3 or 4 losses at the end of the year, they'll go look out and make a change.
All right. Closing thoughts, DC.
Well, I think today is intriguing. Alabama's not on the list today. But I think one of the intriguing things to watch today at SEC Media Day is you got Georgia and Texas both on this podium. And in between Kirby Smart and Sarkisian talking, you got the number 1 player in the state of Georgia going to make his commitment. And those 2 teams have been going at it over him. They've been a slugfest over his recruitment. So I look forward to seeing how the day plan plays out.
Yep, that's definitely – today is what you would probably call the powerhouse day for the SEC, as Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas all talking. Of course, Tennessee not having their quarterback. I'm sure that's going to be an interesting conversation there. But we'll break it all down right here on the Martin Houston Show. And tomorrow, Alabama jumps on the podium, so we'll talk about that specifically tomorrow. Hey, that's DC. That's Chase. I'm Martin. X out on assignment. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being part of the program. Remember this, trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody. Catch you on tomorrow.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.